Hi. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I don't know what is going on with my computer. I can't see anything. I can see me in there. My speakers say they're working, but I can't. What is going on? There we go. Okay. So now, fix that problem. I don't know. So let me know who is here. And if you can hear me, that would be very helpful to know. I'm going to pull it up on my YouTube and see. So I can see, okay. Thank you. Okay, I can see that Susan is here. Good evening. I'm so thankful you do sprints on Tuesdays. I'll pray you'll be able to continue for a long time. Well, thank you. Right now, it's going to be every other Tuesday. I can't commit to every Tuesday, but we'll see how this goes. And we have Truly Love. And if you don't mind sharing what your first name is, that'd be awesome. So yes, I'm here. I can hear you. Good. I'm a little concerned about the ambient room because when I added it, I couldn't get it to play on my end. I don't know. I got a new computer over the weekend, so trying to figure out everything. Tabitha is here. Hello. Thank you. Susan said yes. And Reed Brucey, Jamie is here. And Susan says, every other Tuesday is awesome. Please don't overextend yourself. Yeah. I also have to work around my husband's schedule. And so it probably December will be a little bit different, but we'll see. Okay, my name is Bethany. Okay, I will try to remember that, see how well. So what are you going to be reading tonight? I am reading To Disguise the Truth by Jen Turano. This is book 3 in the Bleecker Street Inquiry Agency series. And I thought I might as well work on trying to finish some series yet this year. So when did I start this one? I think I started the series at the beginning of the year, or maybe I started the series last year. I need to look at my series spreadsheet to find out. But I am on chapter 22, page 212. So I have just over 100 pages left to read. Will I read it tonight? I don't know. We'll see. I think let's see. There's 347 pages, and I'm on 212. So we'll see how it goes. Hi, Lindsay is here. And she's reading Across the Ages, book 4 in the Timeless series. I know that's by Gabrielle Meyer. I probably didn't say her first name right. And Tabitha is reading The Oath by Frank Peretti. It felt appropriate for the week of Halloween. Yeah. Frank Peretti was one. I remember my dad reading This Present Darkness by Frank Peretti, and it taking him forever to read it. That's what I remember about it. And I'm like, I have absolutely no desire to read that book. Just, yeah. Yeah. So I completely lost the ambient room now. As I said, I was having struggles. Okay, we might be going without background for a little bit. Okay, so Susan is reading A Cozy Kind of Christmas by Ali Alexander. Wow, I am struggling to talk. And Jamie says, weird that tonight it's showing my handle in the chat when normally it shows my... See, that's what I thought too. Yeah, because that's why it took me a minute to think what your name was, because I'm like, I'm used to your name showing up for a couple. So maybe YouTube's having issues again. We'll see. And Mary Beth, doing some writing and some reading of Man of Shadow and Mist by Michelle Grebe. Lindsay says hi to Jamie. And Bethany says, okay, so it's not just me. Nope, it is not just you. Everybody's just saying it that way. It's weird. Hi, and Lee is here and reading Among the Innocent by Mary Alford. That almost made it onto my November TBR. I will be very interested if you like that or not. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Okay. That's, yeah, spoiler for my November TBR that's coming out Thursday. It almost made it. Didn't make it, though. Okay, I'm going to try to find the ambient room again, and I'm going to try to add it and see if I can figure out. Let me know if you can hear it once it gets added. And we're going to read we're just going to go to 8:30. So 8:30 my time, so 30 after for your time. So that'll be 25 minutes. And we're going to hit this last comment. Becky, hi there. Hi. And I'm reading Shoot Me by Leslie Crow. Yeah, correct. Okay, so let me get a banner up. Okay, so happy reading, and I'm going to try to find this ambient room. Hello, that is the end of that sprint. How did you do? And could you hear the ambient room at the beginning? Or was it just me that couldn't hear it? I don't know. But okay, so I did get my sound working on my side. I don't know for your side. And I read a whole 4 pages. Yeah. Hopefully you got a little bit more reading done that sprint than I did. Okay, where did we leave off? We left off here. And I'm late, but I'm here. It's okay, you came just in time for the beginning of that sprint. And Lee I'm enjoying it. There's an online book club, Inspired Readers, for it. I've never heard of that. The author will be meeting online with us on November the 17th. Ooh, okay, that makes me... Lee is reading Among the Innocent by Mary Alford, is it? Yes. That kind of makes me interested to look that up and see. Interesting. And Jamie, This Present Darkness is so good, I put off reading it till last year. Okay. I might need more convincing than that, though. Elma is here. Hello, everyone. I'm hoping my internet will stay on. It keeps disconnecting. So frustrating. I am reading If I Am Being Honest. It's a sweet romance. Well, hopefully your internet stays on, Elma. I understand internet issues and computer issues and all that stuff. I feel ya. And Annie is here. Hi, everyone. I'm listening to The Body and Mr. Chicken. That is quite the name. By Della Pearl. It's a cozy mystery. The Body and Mr. Chicken. And Bert popped in. Hi. And Anything by Frank Peretti is really good. Yeah, you've probably read quite a few of them, eh? Bert is a friend. And Bethany, I've read 30 pages of The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp. I have less than 100 pages to go. Ooh. Will you finish it tonight? I'm sorry. I'm really bad for moving my chair. That might drive some people nuts. I did enjoy that one. It hit a little close to home with my dad, but I really enjoyed Mrs. Kipp's attitude and the way she worked with the people around her. Yeah. And Tabitha got 8 pages and she could hear the ambient sound. Okay, so it's just me then. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just me. And Annie got to 22%. And Jamie updated Instagram. You're really good at keeping Instagram updated. Me, not so much. And Alma read a chapter and a half, and she has about 7 chapters left in the book. And I'm like, I know what you told me you were reading. And I just read it. And I've already forgotten. Short-term memory problems. And Susan read about 6% and she's enjoying it. That's good. Em got to page 48 of A Tale of Two Cities and she heard the sound kick in partway. Okay, so maybe it wasn't just me then. And Lee, love the beach sounds. I almost finished chapter. Yes. Yeah, beach sounds. Yeah, I'm already cold. Like we're in fall now and it's getting colder. And I'm like already freezing. I come home and I'm like, I have long sleeves on, but I like put my blanket on and right? And I said to Andrew the other day, what am I going to do when it's like winter? I'm like, because my hands are cold right now. I'm going to be freezing. And he's like, I think we might have to move south soon. I'm like, yeah, totally. Give me a beach. Give me much warmer. I'd be okay. And Alma is terrible because Ken is trying to watch his hockey game and it keeps stopping. Oh, that sucks. Vegas versus the Hurricanes. That sucks. Yeah. my team is playing tonight because all the teams are playing tonight, but it's not anywhere I can watch, which is fine. And it's a late game tonight too, so yeah. And Susan, Bethany, what did you think of Mrs. Kipp so far? Susan loved it. Okay, and M says, regarding the names, I thought that was something I had done on my last sprints because I didn't see any names displayed as I remember seeing them before. Okay, but the fact that it's showing the same way for me, maybe it's not something you did, M, and maybe it's something on StreamYard or YouTube side or something. Because I remember it like being names, not the handles. But just, it's gonna help the memory and see, can I match the people? Mary Beth did some editing this sprint, but will read during the next one. I will read during the next one too. And Bethany said, I'm enjoying it. It's not a book I'm flying through, but there's definitely so much to think about. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so what do we want to chat about tonight? Do we want to chat? Or do we just want to read? I have my TBR jar here again. Let me see if I can pull a prompt and see if we can find a book to talk about. But first, I have the fan on because even though it's only in the 70s, the sun coming through the windows warmed up. Oh, that's nice. Our patio door, right? Like we open the drapes at the patio door. And when I come home from work, I stand right there because the sun just comes in right there. And I'm like, can I just stay here? Yeah. Okay. Are we going to get something that we can actually, will give me a book? Two words in the title. This is funny because I need a 2-word book title for November. And I was trying to figure out what book I was going to read for that because I didn't have as many as I thought. I have very few 2-word title books. And yeah. Well, okay, I have a few, but they're both book one, like the two main options. They're both book ones in series that I have not started yet, hence they're book ones. And I'm like, I don't want to start another series until I complete some series I'm reading, because one of them's by an author I'm already reading a series from. Yes. So, yeah. So give me your 2 book title recommendations. For me, of books that I've read, Lynn H. Blackburn, all 3 of the Defend and Protect series, all 3 are 2-word titles. Malicious Intent, Unknown Threat, and Under Fire. I could grab books, but I didn't. Lynette Eason's series, Lake City Heroes, Double Take, Target Acquired, Serial Burn, Final Approach. All 2-word titles. But those are books I've already read, and I would recommend those series. So Jamie has one for us, Girl Lost. That's a new release by Kate Angelo. Kate. Anyways, and I'm really, really intrigued about that. But it's a new release. I don't have it yet, and my library doesn't have it yet. So, yeah. And that is a suspense. And it's another book one in a series. Something about those book ones, right? Yeah. Yeah. I really don't have that many on my shelves. Yeah. Yes. Alma. Danny Petrie's Chesapeake Valor series has 2-word titles. I immediately think of Dead Drift in that series. I don't own those books, but I've read them. But was Dead Drift even my favorite of the series? I don't remember right now. It's just the one title that comes to my mind. And Lee says Dangerous Passage by Lisa Harris. Dangerous Passage. I recognize the name. Is that part of a series or is that one of her standalones? And do I have that book? No, that's not the one I have. Dangerous Passage. I feel like that's part of the Southern Crimes. Ooh, it is. Oh, look, it's book 1. I've read that one. That's funny. It's book 1. Yes, it is Southern Crimes. And Alma says Cold Shot is the first book. Okay, thank you. I'm going to look these up, Danny Petrie, and see which one was my favorite. Oh. No, it was Blind Spot that was my favorite, book 3 of that series. I mean, I gave Dead Drift is book 4, it's the last book, which I also gave 4 stars to, but I gave Blind Spot 5. And then Jamie says Shadow Witness. Shadow Witness. Is that the new Angela Carlisle book, Shadowed Witness? Or is there another book by that name? Which I've also read and highly recommend. But that's a book too. And Bethany says, I have a huge pile of books to take to Second and Charles. I put 2 Lisa Harris in the pile earlier. Should I keep them? I've never read hers before. I really enjoyed the Southern Crimes series. It was actually the first series I read by her. And it's a continuing storyline. And so it was like, I finished book 1. I had to get book 2 and I had to get book 3. Like, yeah. That's the only series I've read by her. I do have the Trader's Pawn on my shelf, but I haven't read it. And I understand that is a standalone. And then Alma says, Living Lies by Natalie Walters. That's one of my book 1s that I have to read that I didn't want the series to start. I didn't want to start that series yet. Oops, I'm skipping. Alma also says Nancy Mell, the Kaylee Quinn books are 2-word titles. The Nancy Mell is the other book that I have, which is Nightfall. I don't know if that's part of the Nancy Quinn series or not, but Jamie says North Argyle Abbey. I don't recognize that name at all. I need some more information, Jamie. And Alma says Nancy Mell Defenders of Justice series have 2-word titles. Yeah, I feel like Nightfall is part of the Quantico series or something with Quantico in the name. But I could forget. I could be mistaken on that. And Lee says Present Danger by Elizabeth Goddard. Love that series. Appalachian Song by Michelle Shockley. I didn't even think about that book. See, because I don't own it, I don't think about it. Oh, I could have read that book. I've fallen in love with Michelle Shockley through 2 books, but I want to read all her books. Then Counterattack by Patricia Badley and 26 Below by Kimberly Woodhouse, I want to say. Patricia Bradley is another that I'm currently reading another series, so I didn't want to start her series either. And Alma says, just looking at the books on my shelf, and I have a lot of suspense, have 2-word titles. Apparently, I own the wrong books. Because not very many of mine do. I have a lot of 3-word title books. That's what I noticed, especially in my suspense, because I thought for sure, but I also was avoiding starting series. And Lisa says she loved the U.S. Marshal series by Lisa Harris. I've heard fun things about that series. I need to read more Lisa Harris because I did enjoy the Southern Crime series I read. And that's one of her older series. So, yeah. Jamie says it's a modern Christian fiction retelling of Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. And what was it called again? I'm going back. North Argyle Abbey. Who is that by? Okay, and M says that sounds fun, Jamie. And Elma says, I have a lot of old series, and you probably have already read them. Maybe. But I have a tendency, I find an author and I read their books and kind of forget about everybody else almost. Not quite, but to a certain extent. And for suspense, really, I've stuck with the same authors. It's time to kind of branch out a little bit. Hence why I've started a Patricia Bradley series. I have a Natalie Walters series started. I have a Nancy Mell series started. Yeah. There's a few that, because those are ones I've read maybe one book by or different. Yeah. And Mary Beth said, I also discovered Michelle Shockley this year and I'm loving her books. I'm curious, what book was your first Michelle Shockley? For me, it was All We Thought We Knew. And I loved it. I fell in love with her and the characters and the writing style. And yeah. Okay, so we've been chatting for a little bit. And thank you for all the options for 2-word titles. I need to write some of these down so that I don't forget them to look them up. And let's do another sprint. It's almost 10:02. So if we go half an hour, that will be 20 after. Do I have a thing? Let's go till 25 after. So 35 minutes ish, because it's not quite 50 yet. Okay, let's hope this works this time. Happy reading, everybody. Okay, that is the end of that sprint. How did you do? I actually read that time and I got 25 pages read. I have made it to page 240 and chapter 24. And there is some really entertaining comments in this. It is filled with humor. I am really enjoying it. And okay, so Jamie said Janelle Leonard is the author of North Argyle Abbey. Wow, that's like a difficult name to say. I don't know why. Sometimes words are hard, right? Janelle. Okay. And Mary Beth said Appalachian Song was her first Michelle Shockley book. And you have fallen in love with her from that book. Yeah, I need to add that to my TBR. Like, I mean, it's on my TBR. I just don't own it. So we'll see. Okay, Tabitha switched over to her nonfiction Bible Doctrine by Wayne Grudem. Got through a couple of paragraphs. I'm taking this one very slow. Nonfiction is slow, I find. Like it just reads slower for myself anyways, because you have to really think as you're reading and kind of sometimes I have to read certain things more than once. So like, wait, what did that say? To really comprehend it at times. So, and M read one page and then her sister called and we got off the phone just a minute ago. That is the way it works sometimes. Well, hopefully you had a good conversation with your sister. And Bethany said, I only read 18 pages that time, had to feed the dog and give him his insulin. Well, 18 pages is still pretty good. And Tabitha, yes, that's definitely a case for me. Yeah. And Mary Beth got 22 pages read. Good for you. Okay, so this is where I struggle. When we're in the lull, like, what do I talk about? And I'm just realizing something. I'm not going to say, though. Maybe you'll clue into what it is. Okay, so let's see if we have another topic we can talk about. We just talked about nonfiction and how it reads slow. 3-word title. And okay, so what is your favorite 3-word title box? The one that immediately comes to mind for me is Beneath the Surface by Lynn H. Blackburn. Jamie read a bit of On the Edge of Trust by Patricia Bradley. Annie has made it to 30%. And Elma's asking, did you decide how you were going to do your reading challenge next year? No, not yet. I'm still like tossing up different ideas. I don't know. I have so many. I have a few different ones because my biggest thing is I love the bingo boards. And I'm like, but I love to be able to see the prompts that you're going to meet. Like when you put a book cover on, I like to be able to see what that book cover is for, what the prompt was. And you can't really do that on a bingo board. And also, bingo board doesn't work as well for next year as it did for even last year or this year because there's 25 spots on a bingo board. So last year I did 24 and 24, right, with a free space in the middle. This year I did 25 and 25 with just 25 books on a bingo board. Well, 26 doesn't fit on a bingo board. And so I was thinking of maybe doing 24 prompts and kind of do 2 a month. And then for those that still like monthly prompts, right? I could pair 2 together as like, this is the 2 for January, this is the 2 for February. But if you don't want to do a certain month, you just want to work on the books and fill them in when you can, you have 24 prompts to do. So that's where I was kind of leaning towards. But then I was also like, is 24 too many? Should I stick with the 15 I do rather? So yeah, I don't know. Thoughts? And feel free to message me on Instagram is the easiest way to message me. It's JaneReads_Insta. If you have suggestions or ideas. Okay, Jamie, Sense and Suitability by Pepper Basham. That's a new release. And it's a yellow cover. That's about all I know about it. I'm assuming it's kind of a retelling of Sense and Sensibility or a take on it or something like that. But yeah. And M says, let's talk about favorite books read this year. Okay. There's a book, and I've talked about it a lot on my channel, so you might be able to guess what book this is before I even tell you. I read it in January. I think it was the third book I read this year. Let me look at my reading journal to find out. It wasn't the first book. Oh, it was the 5th book I read this year. It was very, very close to the beginning. And I absolutely loved it. And it just stuck in my mind so much that I constantly think about it. And yeah. So that's really at the top of my list. I've read some good ones. Like I probably have about 20 books that I've given 5 stars to this year, but that's the one that really sticks in my mind. It is a dual timeline. And yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you right now. I will tell you what book it is in a little bit because I'll grab the book. Okay, and hi, Katrina. And 3-word titles. Winter of Fire by Cheryl Jordan and Through Wolf's Eyes by Jane Linscold. Katrina, I don't know how to say that name. I enjoy the fantasy genre. Yeah, not me so much. Alma M, I've started on my list of favorite books already too. Yeah. As soon as I write, I have a page. I feel like if I show you the page, you're going to know. I have a page for 5-star reads so that I can just like go through them at the end of the year. I have so many pages in my reading journal. Yeah. And so then I can just look at that and be like, okay. With you, Tabitha says, With You Always by Jody Headland was a favorite for me this year. Yes, that one was really good too. That was my first Jody Headland book. I buddy read that with Alma, and I really enjoyed it that I binged the rest of the series because I had to know. And M says, Alma, I was just going through mine. So that's why it was on her mind. And Katrina says, favorite book this year, Night Witches by Lauren Lasky, about Polish, maybe, female pilots during World War II. They would do surprise attacks during the night. That'd be interesting. Female pilots during World War II. I have read a lot of World War II books this year, but that's okay because I really enjoy them. And Bostine has just hopped on. I'll be starting Yonder 2 when the next spring begins. It's a Western romance, but the first book has lots of adventures, so I'm excited to continue. Western romance. Nice. And Bethany says, I've just recently recently got back into reading more, so I'm eager to read so many books that I've been hearing about that I can come up with a favorites list. Then it might be hard to narrow it down to a favorite. M says, I read a children's classic book, The Saturdays by Elizabeth Enright, 5 stars. I've never heard of that one, The Saturdays. Alma, we loved that one, didn't we, Jeanette? Yes. I still have to finish the series, though. Yeah, it was so good. I don't know. I am such a binger when I find books I love and a story I have to continue. And I love binging. And I'm always so sad when I don't. Like, I'm disappointed in myself when I continue a series later. But then it's also like I rush through a series and can't go back and visit the characters unless I reread, which I'm fine with rereading. And that will most likely be a book that I would reread. And Tabitha says, I haven't read any more of the series yet, but I'm excited to. Do you ever do reading journal wow, I can't read. Reading journal flip through videos? I have. I did a reading journal video, I think, for the setup of this journal. Like, I mean, it's a very basic notebook. I'm pretty sure I did a setup video. Pretty sure. It would have been in December, probably, but I will do one at the end of the year. Well, probably January, showing the complete. Because I'll show you a monthly spread. It's not creative at all. Like, here's October. So I have just what month it is. I have what books I got on my TBR game. If I added any books through a game, right? So that's my TBR page. And then I have the books I've read. So title, star rating, and how I read them, because I'm trying to keep track of Kindle, physical, or audio, just to see kind of how it breaks down. And I based an average on 15 when I created this little printable thing. And then on the next page, I will do if I'm participating in any readathon. So this October obviously is not done yet, so I haven't finished that readathon. But to give an example, so this is the readathon that I co-hosted in August, the Keep Me in Suspense readathon. And so then I have the printable, put the book covers on. And then I took part in series September. And this is how I did it. I did not complete this one. But because this is why I have this, because I like to be able to see the prompts that the books go to. So very, very basic, but I really like it. Okay. And Lee says, The Sweet Life, The Way Back, and For a Lifetime. All 3 words, and my favorites this year. I really enjoyed The Sweet Life too, but did it make you hungry for ice cream? And I'm not a huge ice cream person, but it did make me want some. And M says, Howl's Moving Castle, The Wild Robot, The Blue Castle. The only one I've read is The Blue Castle, and I really enjoyed that. I really liked Blancy. Mary Beth, An Honorable Deception by Rosanna White, and The Gold Digger by Liz Tolsma that I read because of your recommendation are my favorite 3-word titles for the year so far. The Gold Digger is the one that got me into reading Liz Tolsma, and I've picked up so many more of her books since. I've only read one other one. The Silver Shadow was my other one, but The Gold Digger is like top tier right now. Annie, Band of Sisters by Kathy Golk for a 3-word title, and is one of my favorites as well. I have never read Kathy, but I want to. Ladies of the Lake, I think, is her book that I really want to read. And Katrina says, Catherine Lasky also wrote Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Gahul was made into a movie. Wow, Katrina, you're really testing me on pronunciation here. Okay, Alma, I need to start keeping track of how I read a book now that I've been doing more audiobooks. See, that was exactly why I started as well. And I really was trying to figure out, at the beginning of the year, I was trying to figure out if my Audible membership was worth it, if I was listening to enough. So I track all my audiobooks as well, and where I get them from. And I decided in early September, I think, I decided no, my Audible membership wasn't worth it because I was listening to more from other sources than Audible. So, yeah. I really enjoyed the first 2 books of the Texas Ever After series. Not quite 5 stars, but close, that I want to read the last one in the series. Yes. I love Karen Whittemeyer's writing. Like, I've just fallen in love with her writing. And I already liked stories set in Texas to begin with. So when I discovered her, and like, I love cowboy Western type stuff. So, yeah. And Taba says, I would love to start tracking my reading more. I recently started using Goodreads, but I love your journal. Oh, thank you. So I use Goodreads. I use Excel, so I have a spreadsheet. But I really like having the journal too. But you see all the really pretty bullet journals, and I cannot draw. I don't like my drawing. I mean, I don't like my handwriting, but I don't like my drawing or anything. So I did a bunch of printables and just put them in a notebook. It works. Jamie, Sunrise on the Weeping was one of my favorites, but of course not Christian fiction. The Emma M. Lyon series has been another fave. Audrey and the Fire Rose by YouTuber Christy A. Cole have all been great reads. I have not read any of the hosts, but I have heard a ton about the Christian fiction, like the Emma M. Lyon and Audrey and the Fire Rose. I've heard a ton about them. And Lee says yes. So she's referring to The Sweet Life, that yes, but she's also a huge ice cream person. M says, I put a P, A, and E physical audio ebook next to the title in my reading journal. Yeah. And Annie, The Hired Girl by Laura Amy Schultz. I have no idea. What's my favorite book of the year? I've never heard of that. The Hired Girl. Bethany, just hearing you say ice cream makes me want ice cream, my favorite food. Yeah, I think for me, because I'm already cold most of the time, I think that's why it doesn't. Yeah. And Jamie says there are so many more. Awakened by Roseanne M. White. And I have ice cream in the freezer. Kelly, hi, Kelly. I just finished my chapter of Gone with the Wind for the day. Reading a big classic. Alma, I only listen to audiobooks from the library on Libby. Yeah, I have Libby and I have Hoopla, and majority of my audiobooks are coming from Hoopla lately. Yeah. And Bethany, I have 3 different kinds of ice cream in our freezer. It's a staple in our house. Nice. I couldn't tell you what kind of ice cream's in our freezer. It's my whatever. It might be Neapolitan, I think. Neapolitan, however you say it. I think that's what Andrew was eating the other day. I don't know. It's not a kind I would eat, but I mean, I can't eat it. But Kelly says, Audrey was so good. I love it. I can't draw either. I use stickers and printouts in my reading journal. Yeah. And Alma, I think I want to read the Emma M. Lyon books next year. Yeah. Everybody seems to be talking about it this year. We're kind of probably like 2 out of 10 people that might not have read them. I don't know. And one of my favorite books I read this year was The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I've heard of that one, but I don't know anything about it. I feel like I saw Krista read that book, but I'm not sure. And The Hired Girl was so good. I read it a couple of years ago. I've never heard of that. Okay, where is that book? Okay. The Edge of Longing by Amanda Cox. That is currently in the running for the best book of the year. And I read it in January. And I could tell you everything about this book. Like, yeah, it really just touched my heart so much. A homeless guy taking in a baby and trying to care for this baby that he found while he's homeless, like living in the woods. And then he gets connected with a church and things just develop from there. And the message in it, the care of the people, I just loved it. Okay, Katrina's joining our group, Alma. First time hearing of Emma. Jamie, I use Hoopla and Libby for my library, and then I also Audible and Chirp. And Jamie, I mostly do audio. And Alma, I loved The Edge of Belonging. Yes, it was so good. And hi, Rachel. I read my favorite book of the year in January as well, Pearl in the Sand by Tessa Afshar. I got another book I have not read, but I do not read biblical fiction. I've never read biblical fiction. It's not that I do not, but yeah. And Lee, I really liked The Edge of Belonging. I read it in 2020. Did it come out then? Is it really that old? Wow, I was really behind. Yeah, 2020. Wow. I've read 4 Amanda Cox now. I'm like, where's the other one? But it's on my October read because I read it this month. And 3 of them were 5 stars out of the 4 I've read. Like, why is my finger red? Katrina, it's absolutely crazy the number of books that are popular on here but not available on Libby from my library. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Pearl in the Sand is really good. And Bethany, I found an Amanda Cox book at Second on Charles last week, the one with the grocery in the title. The Secret Keepers of Old Depot Grocery. This was the very first one I read by her, and it had me in tears. I read this in 23. And yeah, that is why I so wanted to pick up more. Yeah, very much so. And Bethany says, yes, that is this one. And Anne has arrived. Hi, Anne. How you doing? What are you reading tonight? Lee, I remember when I read it, because that was The Edge of Belonging, because we were at home then because of the COVID lockdown. Yeah, COVID. My husband was on lockdown, but I had to go to work. I was working a different job back then, and yeah. Fun times of COVID. And Elma says hi to Anne. And Jamie, I've almost finished reading Emma M. Lyon through twice this year. Wow. There are 8 volumes out. 7 have been released on audio as of last week. 8 will release next week. And Alma says, I need to read more Amanda Cox books. Yes. There's the one I haven't read, or one of the ones I haven't read, I think. Does she only have one other that I haven't read? Something about a birding society. Something. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Jamie, I have read them and listened to them audio as they were released on audio. And Anne is going to try a cozy mystery, Salted Caramel by Amanda Flower. I just discovered the other day when I was browsing our church library that there are some Amanda Flower books there. So I was like, I should give her a try. It's funny because I go into the library and look just to see every once in a while. And I'm like, read that one. I've read that one. I've read that one. And not, most of them is because I own them, not because I've got them from the library. And Jamie says, that is a good one, Anne. Yeah. Okay, so we are at 50. And let's do another sprint because I'm like, what did I do with my book I was reading? It wasn't where I thought I put it. Here we go. So Annie says, Ems, I'm glad you liked The Higher Girl. It's the most inspirational book I've read in a long time, even though I'm not Catholic. And Bethany says, The Bitter End burning. The Bitter End Birding Society. Yes, that is the one I need to read. Hopefully next year. And says, I love Amanda Flower. Okay. Got to give her a try then. Okay, so let's do another half-hour sprint. So let's go to 20 after. And I will see you back in half hour. Okay, so that is the end of that sprint. How did you do? I got another 22 pages read. I'm in the midst of reading chapter 26, and I am still really enjoying this. Just there's some funny comments. And I didn't fall. Somebody, so I'm not gonna, well, I can say some names, not gonna spoil it. I didn't fall. Arthur took me to the ground, and then Ivan jumped on top of him, which sufficiently left me squished in the dirt, and things best left unmentioned on Main Street. Oh, yeah. Okay, where did we leave off? Okay, so we were talking about Amanda Flower. Said that she loved it, and my whole book club loved it. Annie. Wait, no, we're talking about The Hiding Girl? Was that what it was called? I think so. And M says, PSA for cat lovers. Amanda Flower has a new series she just started with Catterday Crimes. She's using all the proceeds to support her cat rescue efforts. Nice. I wonder if my friend has read any of hers. I have a friend who absolutely loves cats. They have 3. And she loves anything cats, reads about them, everything. Yeah. So I got to keep that series in mind for her. And Susan, thank you for the sprint. See you in 2 weeks. Good night, Susan. Have a good night. Bethany, 18 pages that time. Anne says, I read four and a half chapters. Nice. But I kept falling asleep. Maybe it's time for bed. And Mary Beth, 18 pages read. And Jamie, I didn't realize we were back. I was getting my ducks in a row for tomorrow's work day. Yeah, that happens. God, I get prepared, right? And Vostine, if you don't mind sharing what your first name is, that would be great. I'm on chapter 4, and a new mystery is trying to be solved with one of the people in the wagon train. So I'm excited to see how it gets solved. Mysteries are intriguing. What's going to happen? Annie, I didn't read, but did some kitchen cleaning and went through the mail. Yeah. You were productive. Tabitha made it through 1 page this time. I read about 10 pages in The Tale of Two Cities and then made an ice cream float. Is that because we were talking about ice cream? It's Virginia. Okay. I will try to remember that. Thank you. And Lee finished another chapter. Yeah. I was debating about just stopping at the chapter I was at and not starting another one because I hate stopping in the middle of a chapter. But we still have quite a bit of time. And these chapters, I mean, I'm on chapter 25, did I say? 26? And these chapters are kind of long. Like, I mean, they're not bad, but as the next chapter's 3 pages, that's funny. Did I say that? Jamie, oh, by the way, I got to go to Aldi again yesterday and I found more maple cream cookies. Awesome. Did you see Alma's video where she found them as well and really enjoyed them? I'm glad you guys are enjoying those. I don't know if I actually have any in my cupboard at this moment in time, but I still have my pumpkin cream ones that I picked up at Trader Joe's when we were in holidays. And Tabitha says she found some of the cookies also. Yay! Candace invading you guys. Sharing our treats. And yes, I was influenced by the chat. Yep. Yeah, no, that did not influence me at all. Okay, how are you feeling? I think I'm gonna go till 11 my time. So it's 10:25 right now. So I think we'll do one more sprint. What do I have for? banners. Okay, I have a 55. Lee, I went to Aldi yesterday too. I've never been to Aldi's before, but everyone kept talking about those cookies. Nice. Did we go to Aldi when we were in the States in September? I don't feel like we did. And normally we do make a point. But yeah. And Katrina, I just put the cookies in my cart. Yay. Yeah, they're really good. Okay, so we're not gonna do that one, we're gonna do this one. So we're gonna read till the top of the hour, and then we'll say good night. I want to thank you guys for joining me. This is fun, and I was hoping I would finish this book tonight, but I don't know. 40. I still have 80 pages. I don't think I'll finish tonight, but that's okay. I don't know what book I'm going to read next either, so I can't really finish tonight because I need to think about what I'm going to read tomorrow. Okay, so let's put this up. Okay, so let's read till the top of the hour. And Jamie's going to go out during that sprint. So bye, Jamie. Have a good night. Get some rest. Okay, so that is the end of the sprints for tonight. How did you do during that sprint? I have made it to page 286 in chapter 28. So I think I read another 22-ish pages. I don't know where I started exactly. But things are being revealed. Family secrets are being revealed, and I'm really invested. I kind of want to stay up and finish, but I shouldn't stay up too late. So we'll see what happens. Okay, where were we? We were talking about Aldi and cookies. Okay, and Jamie asked Lee, did you find them? And Lee said, yes, they had plenty. And Jamie said they did have them, but didn't have the other thing that she needed. And M said, I don't think I have an Aldi near me. Me either. And Jamie said, I'll probably cut out shortly, so good night. Good night, Jamie. And Anne said, okay, I should head to bed, finish chapter number 5, so that's a good place to stop. Good night. Good night, Anne. You're probably already gone, but. And Bethany, I only have 15 pages left. Oh, stay up and finish. I would say sprint. We'll sprint again so you can finish, but I don't want to stay up too late. So sorry. Finish though. Finish tonight before you go to bed. And Tabitha got 20 pages read. She switched back to fiction. Yeah, fiction reads a little bit quicker. And Mary Beth got 19 pages read. So we all made progress. I'm not even sure where I started tonight. 24, maybe 26. I don't know. I don't know. Oh well. But I want to thank you all for joining tonight. And let's get these last few comments. Katrina got to 21% in Eruption by Michael Crichton and James Patterson. Wow, you're coming out with the names I don't know. And M, I read a few more pages. I'm in part 2 now, and I'm worked on updating my reading journal. Thank you for the sprints. Well, thank you for joining, M. And Lee got about 20 pages read. Good for you. And says, thank you for the sprints. So yes, thank you all for joining. So we will be back in 2 weeks. So that is November the 14th. Sprint. And Mary Beth says, thanks so much for the sprints. I look forward to more Tuesday. Well, November the 14th. No. That's October calendar. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Oh, it'll be Remembrance Day, November 11th. Okay, I'll try to remember to wear red. And Katrina said Michael Crichton wrote Jurassic Park. Yes, I knew I recognized that name, but I'm not exactly sure how to say the name. And Tabitha says, thanks, enjoyed the sprint. Well, thank you all for joining, and I hope you have a good night. Bye.